Day 1 of isolation.
What are you doing?
Alright, we are handling day 1 fine so far.
I mean, I'm just getting to work.
Yeah, it's been a fairly normal day. But my poor mum and dad and sister, dad's okay because at least he's connected to the mains water supply, so he has water. But my mum and sister, all of them have no power. And when there's no power, our water pump at their house doesn't work, so they don't have a working toilet. They don't have anything.
The Premier's running a little late to his planned media conference as he plans to bring us the latest COVID update. We'll bring you his address live when he appears.
We're now just waiting on the Premier. We're sort of just waiting to see if the guy passed on any virus to anyone else. Like, did they catch it in time or not? That is sort of the question. I know, and like they say he worked for a rideshare app, but he hadn't done any work for the rideshare app since before he came into contact with COVID. But then why'd he go to 3 different petrol stations in 3 different areas? Yeah, there's also a cyclone up in the Pilbara, where Dad was a day or 2 ago.
Just not in a good state.
Um,
right now.
But they cut my dad's shift short so they could fly him back here. And he came back to COVID lockdown, so...
Oh, no, he didn't come back because of COVID lockdown.
No, he came back because there was about to be a massive cyclone.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. But yeah, so my family hasn't had internet. Well, they haven't had internet. I meant electricity since about 2 a.m.
They've been on Facebook. Surely they're on internet.
Well, yeah, they have it on their phones. They haven't had it since 2 a.m. and it looks like it's not going to be till at least 10 p.m.
They reckon it'll be on.
I bet it'll come on at like 1 a.m. just so Western Power doesn't have to pay them the $80.
1 a.m. is 24 hours. It went off at 1 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
So 1 p.m. is 12 hours.
Oh, is it only 12 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In which case is like an hour's time.
Okay. Oh, the Prime Minister's on.
The Premier's on.
Premier. Should be the Prime Minister.
So many West Australians have been cooperative and...
Day 2 of lockdown. I am exhausted. I will... yeah, I'm exhausted and I imagine I'm not even anywhere near as exhausted as a lot of people around Perth at the moment. I am updating you guys as I go, but I'm also doing a review of the whole 5-day lockdown in this video. And basically yesterday, my mum and dad live separately but in a similar area, and both of them were without power as of 2 a.m. day 1 of lockdown. Mum's power came back on just before 10 p.m. Dad's power, as far as I know, is still not on. It's been off for 32 hours or something like that. That's fun. Dad went and got a generator so at least he can run his freezer and fridge. Yeah, it's shut. In the midst of all this COVID lockdown, there is also a bushfire, an emergency bushfire. If you haven't watched my other videos, it started in Wooroloo, which is up in the Perth Hills. Went through Gidgegannup, went through the Herne Hill sort of area, and is basically currently at Wollonga Park on its way to my mum's house. Luckily it skipped Dad. I'll insert a picture of the place from his house last night. The fire he could see from his house last night. Not a very good picture, but you'll see how bright it is, and it looks like it's like the afternoon, but it's nighttime. It's about midnight. Dad's in the clear as long as the fire doesn't turn around, which it has a good chance to at this current point in time. There's still plenty of new vegetation that hasn't been burnt yet between the fire and Dad's house. But it's for the moment past Dad and it's heading straight for Mum. And the issue is, usually we're safe because the RAF base is between my mum and most fires. But this one's sort of coming just up under the RAF base along Warbrook Road it's heading for. Mum is actually going to be in a bit of danger, and it's so windy. It is not as windy as it was last night, thank goodness, and now it's daytime. They should have the water choppers out, but it's a bit scary. And obviously I've not slept very well at all. Usually Luke gets home, lately he's been getting home like 8:30, But tonight he got home at like 2:30 in the morning because he literally worked so late. Because of the lockdown, he works packaging food, pre-made meals and stuff. People have ordered like crazy amounts. A lot of people have ordered 5 days worth of meals. And yeah, I think higher numbers before this, the high was around 3,000. That was like the max. And last night it was at 3,800. So yeah, a large percentage up from normal and good pay, but it was exhausting. And birdies. There's a tripod right here and I'm holding the camera up with my arm getting sore. I was lucky. I slept from about 8 to 10 before sirens woke me up. We live in an area full of elderly and young families, so I was really worried that one of the elderly neighbours had taken a fall or something bad had happened. It was police, not an ambulance. They were just pulling up the sort of next door neighbour, a couple of houses up, because they were out and about, all of them in their car without masks on. I have no idea what they were doing. It's a bit weird, but I'm not going to judge. The police seemed fine with it. We went to bed about 3:30 and it was about then that Hayden decided to wake up and be wriggly and crazy, and he didn't go to bed until, oh, what are you doing? He didn't go to bed until, I don't even know, like 5, 6, somewhere around then. So I have had very, very, very minimal sleep. The first little sleep I got at the start of the night was pretty good. Pretty decent, but this morning I literally had to just latched him onto my boob and breastfed him non-stop, trying to just get him to sleep so I could sleep, and it just wasn't very good sleep. Very tossy-turny, wriggly, constantly trying to get this thing to sleep, this thing. And at the moment I'm letting Luke sleep in because obviously he works, but I'm so exhausted. I actually twice, maybe 3 times, it wasn't so bad the third time, but twice this morning I felt like I was going to pass out and my vision went completely black because I assume I didn't eat dinner last night properly and I haven't had much sleep. So I don't know, blood pressure maybe. My mum's technically in the evacuation zone, but she's just waiting to see if the fire jumps the highway before she gets out of there. So that's the update for day 2, and it's all of almost 9 o'clock in the morning. I do have to go shopping today. I don't know whether to take Hayden while letting Luke sleep, or if I wait until Luke wakes up and then skip to the shops. I also know for a fact that I'm definitely going to be feeding Hayden to sleep for his nap and sleeping with him and hoping he sleeps like 3 hours and not caring if it's out of routine. And before I go for the start of today, hopefully there's no more interesting developments, but anyway, I am so tired. I'm sorry if this part of the video makes no sense whatsoever. But another interesting development that I should have included in yesterday's video but did not is this thing. I didn't get him up on this chair. I found him standing on the windowsill. And then later I was sitting on the couch and, I'm gonna lean on the tripod. I heard him playing with this high chair, and he plays with the buckles. He stands under the high chair and plays with the buckles, trying to do them up. But I heard him doing that and I thought nothing of it, and then I just like looked over to make sure he was okay, and he's sitting in his high chair. He literally climbed into his high chair. Got a little monkey and he's really scaring me. He did fall off the windowsill last night. I thought maybe he learnt, but then he tried to climb back up there again. But when he was climbing back up there again, he hit his head. So hopefully he's learnt now, and he hasn't tried since. But I also moved the chair that he was using to get up. But like, doesn't take him long to climb somewhere. I went shopping, obviously without Hayden and Luke, just on my own, and oh my goodness, it was just eerie. The fact that it was the middle of the day on a Monday and there was just hardly anyone at the shops. And luckily we have enough nappies. Literally the shops are empty. Anyway, driving home. Are you going to prop him up at all? Or? Lockdown protocols since they were first announced
including rules around
gonna
exercising
record
and
the-
essential workers.
Day 3 of lockdown. It's now Wednesday and lockdown is not what's on our mind. The fire is what's on our mind. Today has been very slow. The fire doesn't seem to have moved much according to like all the maps and stuff, but the wind has just changed. It's just picked up. They've evacuated all of Bullsbrook. Shady Hills, which has always been bushfire prone. There was a really bad bushfire up all that way quite a few years ago now, but they are about to hit the bushfire is about to hit Shady Hills. Up there it's all just like up and down, hilly, rocky, very hard to navigate. Like fire crews can barely get in there. They really rely on air crew, and it's nighttime now, so the air crew can't fly at night. And so we are now relying on ground crew to stop the fires, and they're basically just looking after the assets. They're just going to defend the houses they can. They've been working on a lot of fire breaks and trying to stop the fire once it gets to a certain point, but up there it's really hard to stop it. It's going north more than northwest, which is where Mum is, but the wind has just changed towards Mum's house, which means obviously we're not too worried about the actual main fire getting to Mum's house at the moment, but we are worried about embers starting spot fires near her house. And I honestly wish she would just pack up and come here. Like, we're very used to bushfires. Our area growing up, Bullsbrook, is very prone to bushfires. We're very accustomed to it, so she's sort of just waiting it out and comfortable just waiting and seeing what's happening. And I'm mostly comfortable, but at the same time, if you guys haven't heard in previous videos, I am terrified of fire. I had nightmares as a kid of all my family burning to death, and this was as a kid. Like, I was 7 or 8 and I was having nightmares of losing my entire family in fire. As you can imagine, I'm very stressed at the moment, and I honestly wish she would just come here. She's not going to stay and defend her home if the fire does head her way, so why can't she just come here now? You know what I mean? Just so I know they're all safe. Them as in my mum, my sister, the dog and the rabbit. But today has literally just been waiting and watching the fire updates. Been no community spread so far of COVID, even though we've had heaps of testing, so that's good. Why am I out of focus? So that's good. It looks like, I don't want to say it in case I jinx it, don't know how me alone would jinx it, but it looks like we managed to only get the one security guard sick. It doesn't look like it's spread further than that. But I do remember reading an article a little bit before this started saying day 4 was the best day to get tested, and like, it hasn't been 4 days yet. Tomorrow I think will have been 4 days since this whole thing started. It's looking good. I think come Friday restrictions are going to ease. There's still going to be a restriction on large gatherings, so hopefully me and Luke can go to our anniversary dinner we have planned at Crown. But obviously that's not super important. I mean, it's important to us, but like, it can wait. But we might be wearing masks in public for a long while yet. He fell asleep on the couch about half an hour early. I'll show you guys. That's Milo, just so you know. But yeah, so gonna be another long night. I actually slept fairly well last night, I think because I was just so exhausted from the night before. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 4. Hopefully there's no really bad updates overnight. Today's update, it is day 4. I've lost track already. Hello, kitty cat. And Luca has hurt his leg. I don't know when, because he's been outside for a while now. He has to go out just about 6, I think. Maybe just after 6. And he would have come back in. Me and Luke let him back in about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and he was limping like quite badly. He's putting a little bit of weight on his leg, but like he's really trying not to weight bear. Ring up Murdoch, and she said if it was broken, he probably wouldn't put any, like he would not put it down. So for the moment, pain relief, ice it. Thing is, I don't know where it's hurting. Don't think it's a bee sting because he's not looking at it or touching it at all. He's not acting in too much pain. Like he's not acting in pain at all, but he's a dog and they are very good at hiding pain. Basically, we're waiting till the morning and just letting him rest and hoping it doesn't worsen or something. We're going first thing in the morning to the vet. Restrictions are easing on Friday and should be fully lifted by Sunday. There's been no new cases, everything's negative in that department. The fire is going good as well. They managed to save Shady Hills thanks to the containment lines from the fire retardant dropped from the planes and helicopters and whatnot. There was what we thought was a spot fire but ended up being a completely separate fire. Don't know the cause yet, don't know much about it, but it started about 8 kilometres north of the main massive fire, about 3 k's out of Bullsbrook, and I think this was a while ago now, a few hours ago, it was burning about 20 to 40 hectares, which is nothing compared to the massive fire that burned 10,000 something hectares, but not good when you have to split your efforts. But I'll show you guys the fire. So this is on bushfire.io, and before, like, there was lots of little orange yellow bits all spread randomly throughout here, and all here was like red and orange, and now it's just this one little section. So the fire, there's the containment line up here is holding, and the fire is just burning itself out now. Night time, so there's no aerial crew. You can see one plane taking off over there. I think their plan is to just keep it behind this line. If any spot fires jump over the containment lines, to just deal with those and let all this stuff burn itself out. So for the record, my dad's house is like here and my mum's house is over this direction, up here actually, I think somewhere, I don't know. But the Air Force is like this section here, so I'd have to go through the Air Force to get to my mum's house, which is why she didn't leave and why she felt so safe. Day 5.
The final day. Da-da-da.
You want to come up? Come on then. Oh, you
ready
don't want
for
to
the
come
final
up. Oh, sorry,
countdown?
Daddy. Anyway, day 5 has been uneventful.
T minus 2
Fire
minutes.
is mostly under control, 90% under control, and sort of just waiting for it to burn out and making sure it doesn't jump any of the containment lines. And as for COVID, there's still been 0 cases. So in
A minute 45.
a minute 45, most of the restrictions are lifted. There's still a limit on gatherings, 4 meters squared per person minimum. You still have to wear masks out in public unless you're under 12, like this thing. What are you doing? And and no dancing. Not allowed to dance
Unless you're at a wedding.
unless you're at a wedding or a dance studio. So
So you're breaking the law, all this dancing you're doing.
yeah. Anyway, we're doing a countdown. This is Hayden's chin. Oh, good work. Yeah, good vlogging.
Oh, less than a minute left
Don't
of
turn it
lockdown. Whoop whoop.
Don't turn it off.
2020. Okay, everyone says 2021 will be better. Yep, let's lock it down.
What? 2021 has been worse.
It's
Way
been a
worse.
month or two. Yeah, last year was pretty good for us. Though. I doubt this year's gonna be better.
What?
30 seconds.
Can we get everyone in the shot? Leave it.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're out of lockdown. Woo!
How are you pausing autofocus? Anyway, if you like the video, thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe to see more videos, and I'll see you in the next video. You gotta say goodbye first. Say bye first. Bye. Good job. Now boop it. Now boop it. Boop.